Okay, but we'll start with the new topic. Okay, so in class, you have exam on Sunday, na? That will have the syllabus completed by tomorrow, and the syllabus will be till graphs. And last topic, that's the last topic that we are left with. Okay, so put the heading fourth. This is fourth heading, and the heading is graphs. What? What is? Oh, that we'll get to know from Lino. Okay. See, in topic of graph, the first thing that you see, I have given you the syllabus. In that, first thing was 4.1, that is equations and variables, right? Clear, na? Equations and variables. That we have already covered in first day, first lecture, right? Then there I have explained what is equation, what is variable, what is dependent variable, what is independent variable, right? All those is already clear. So what you can do is put a heading 4.1, put the heading, you can leave half page and you can refer to day 1 lecture. I can repeat that thing. Is it clear? 4.2 will be, then we'll go to 4.2, how to draw a graph. We'll discuss how to draw the graphs. Some things we have already discussed, some is still left. So write down below that line, steps to draw graph. Steps to draw graph. This is 4.2, how to draw a graph. Under that, your subheading is steps to draw graph. This is subheading. Okay. First point, write down. Point number first, choose a scale. Choose a scale, comma, a uniform scale for both the axes. For both the axes. Choose scale, write down after putting comma, uniform scale for both axes unless specified. Axis is AXES. So what you will have to do? First, this is X, here is Y. You will have to choose a fixed scale. Is it clear? Understood? That means this much length is what quantity and this much length is what quantity. You will have to define it first. Is it clear? Unless the question is saying some specific detail, you will have to go with this. Next is create a table of values. Point number next, create a table of values. Under that, write down, choose values for critical point and make a table between X and Y. Between X and Y. So here the critical points will be, write down, here the critical points will be, infinities infinities, the origin and intercepts on axis and intercepts on the axis. So again I am repeating, look at here, what are the values I said? This all four location represents location of infinities, right? This is another critical point, which is your origin, and any cut on these four axes or in these four lines will also be considered as the critical point. Is it clear? So the table should include all the point or minimum number of point to make a drawing. Is it clear? For straight line, how many points you require? You require minimum 2 points or 1 point with some more information. Is it clear? You need 1 point and some more information. So that will be enough. Point C, plot x comma y, plot x comma y on Cartesian plane, on Cartesian plane. What is Cartesian plane here? The drawing that you have made here is only called as Cartesian plane. For sake of understanding, what are the other planes available? One is polar coordinate system, third is cylindrical, and fourth is spherical coordinate system. You only have to study right now the Cartesian coordinate system. Is it clear? The polar JEE student need to study that in further classes, in which this side will denote radius and this axis will denote theta. Is it clear? And you will have to make a drawing of something like this. R is equals to A cos square theta minus 1. You need to plot this in here. For now, we will be sticking to this Cartesian coordinate. Point number next, use curve or line, to join the points as applicable. Okay, I think this point is self-explanatory enough. You can understand by the meaning of, by writing only. There is no further need of explanation. The last and very important point is analyze the nature of graph. For further use, comma, notice any symmetry if present. The meaning of last point you have written is that you cannot make a table every time in the exam, right? So when you are doing some practice here for 10-15 question, you will have to make a table and then come up with the pattern that follows for specific kind of graph. Is it clear? Like I have given this x square y square equals to 1. For now, you can make a table properly. You can make a table of 10 to 15 points and then make a drawing and observe what it is looking like and then remember it so that you don't have to make a table for the next use. Is it clear? Okay. Now we are actually coming to drawing a graph. So put the topic 4.3 and that is important graphs. Four point three is important graphs. Okay. Under that, the first subheading is 4.31, and that subheading you can make very highlighted. Linear graph slash straight line. So this is our topic for today. We will be covering the complete straight line with some questions from your physics. Okay. So first point under this straight line or linear graph, write down the first point. A linear graph has maximum power of variable as 1. A linear graph has a maximum power of variable as 1. So after that you put a dot like this and write down line of form y equals mx. We are starting with the simplest so that you should understand few more terms which will be very much applicable in differentiation and integration. Is it clear? Understood? So do not look here, there and outside. Focus on this. It might be easy, but the concept that we are going to study in this topic will be used in differentiation and integration. So what you need to do now? Start making a table. Okay guys, give me which is independent here. The value of who I can choose, that is x. X value I can put it myself, and based on that I will get the value of y. So first I should put is 0 because this is one of the critical point, right? That is, here is x, here is y coordinate. I need to first put x equals to 0. What will be the answer? Y will also be 0, right? When I put x is equals to 1, y will be m. And therefore, you have 2 points, and that is minimum requirement to make a line. Therefore, we can now draw the line. Give me the first point. Where is the first point? 0, 0, right? This is 1, 0, and somewhere here is 0, m. So if I make this dotted line here, dash line, this point is what? 1, m, which is our point number 2. Is it clear? Now what I have to do is join both of them with one straight line. Till here everything is fine, and you make it arrow and write down y is equals to mx. So all of you understood the basic procedure, how to draw a graph of straight line. See, see, now comes the very important concept that we'll be using in almost all the chapter. So write down under this next point, you can make an arrow and then write down concept of slope. Concept of slope. You need to follow through the graph whenever I am speaking. Is it clear? So, when you move ahead in the x, means you are moving ahead in the x direction. Is it clear? The value of x will be changing, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And accordingly, the value of y will also change, right? So, when the value of x changes, how the value of y is changing is only called as slope. Is it clear? So, suppose if I am walking on the x direction and where I am going in the y is defined as slope. Is it clear? The better example you can find is when you walk up on the staircase or stairs or steps, you can say. When you walk ahead, you go up or down. Definitely you will go up when you are going from, let's say, first floor to the second floor, right? That means the slope is said to be positive. Is it clear? So walking ahead and going up is considered as positive slope. Understood? Walking ahead and going down will be considered as negative slope. So this fundamental is very important. Walking ahead and going up, if you join these 2 points, this slope is positive. Okay, don't need to write, I will dictate. Walking ahead but going below, this is called as negative slope. Is it clear? So now start writing under that topic. When you move ahead, x value changes. X value changes. Now, how the value of y changes? Now, how the value of y changes with change in x, is called as slope. Is called as slope. Okay. This is that. We'll reduce every mathematical relation in a bit. Next point like this, okay, under the slope only, under the slope topic only. If you move forward in x by some amount, if you move forward in x by some amount and you go up in y direction, then slope is said to be positive. Then beside that, you can make this a small diagram, this one, and write down positive slope. So the level here, if you are having confusion from class 8th 9th na, still you can rectify here. I am starting from that below. Next point, if you move forward in x by some point, sorry, some amount, if you move forward in x by some amount, and you go down in y, and you go down in y, then slope is said to be negative, and slope is said to be negative. You can make this diagram and write down negative. Point number next, in more technical term, change the line and write down, slope equals change in y as change in x happens. This is the formula, a basic fundamental from the lines you have written. You can deduce this. Change in y as change in x happens. Okay, now I will be introducing some more terms which is same here. This same thing can be written as this triangle shape y and this triangle shape and x. The whole thing you have written in spelling form or words can be written here in the form of symbol. Okay, where the symbol of this triangle is, this is not a triangle, it's called as delta. Okay, and how do you pronounce this name? Change in. This is how you pronounce it. The meaning of the symbol I am saying. Name is delta, meaning is change in. And therefore, how do you read this? Change in y divided by change in x. If this whole thing comes out positive, your slope is positive. If the whole thing comes out negative, your slope is negative. Is it clear? Okay. If so, then write down the point number next. All of you have noted down till here, na? So I am erasing it and I am writing a small formula now. Slope is equals to change in y divided by change in x. For now you should read it like this. Don't make the habit of reading delta y by delta x. Is it clear? Try reading change in y divided by change in x, and you should know what's the meaning of that. You have written whole 4-5 points to understand this, what we have written here. Understood? Now, the point I said, write down the next point. That is, in above graph, which is this, in above graph, slope equals to, write down this quantity, change in y divided by change in x. Equals to, and now focus here. Guys, I want change, na? So I need to describe my motion first. Initially I was here in the origin and finally I am here. Is it clear? So this is initial location and this one is final. Why I have chosen these 2 points? Because I have the information of these 2 available. Is it clear? You can choose any 2 point which is available to you in the question. Is it clear? Now this is initial, this is final. I have started from here and moved to this and then again went to this location, right? Is it clear? So in x, initial value is how much? Initial value of x is 0. Final value of x is how much? 1, because you started from initial and went to final. Therefore, change in x is nothing but, let me write it down, change in x is nothing but x final value minus x the initial value. Finally you are here and initially you are at this location. So change is 1 minus 0. You cannot write this thing 0 minus 1. Change is not minus 1, it is actually plus 1. You can see from the diagram. Is it clear? To get plus 1, you will have to do x final minus x initial. Then only you will get the correct answer, which you can see visually, right? Plus 1 is correct, minus 1 is wrong. Is it clear? And plus 1 you can only get by x final minus x initial. Reverse is wrong. Why wrong? Because the graph is showing us that the reverse will be wrong. Now change in y, initial y was 0, final y is m. Therefore you will write here also y final minus y initial, and in next line we can write carefully. Okay, did you guys understand what I have written here? Yes, it is very clear to you. We can also give here naming as x initial and y initial, and this as x final and y final if it is confusing. Then you start putting the value. Change in y is how much? How much is the change? M minus how much? Clear na? Everybody understood na this thing? This is change. Change in x is how much? 1 minus 0. So the answer is how much? M. So slope is equals to m. This is the complete point, okay, that I said. So we have now studied how to compute slope of a line and what it represents, that also we have seen. What does it represent? When you walk forward, will it take you up or will it take you down? That is what it will represent. Okay, so I will erase some of these points, it's more congested, and then I will try to show that. Look at here, few things. If I say this length, here, if I talk about this length, this is exactly change in x. Clear everybody? No confusion? What about this length? What does it represent? Change in y, right? You can definitely make it dash line. It's not an equation. Now I am just representing it like this. Okay, this is change in y. Everybody is clear with this? Okay, so we will use it in point number next. Write down the point number next. If we use trigonometry here, if we use trigonometry here to find tan theta, and then look at here. Guys, first I should draw the theta at least, right? Where is theta? This is the theta I am talking about. Okay, this is theta. You can see one triangle. Yes. Can you give me the value of tan theta? Okay, should I write here? It is visible to everyone. This. So let us write tan theta perpendicular upon base. Perpendicular is how much? Change in y. Base is change in x. And we know change in y by change in x is how much? Equal to m or equal to slope. Or equal to slope. Make a proper box over this. It is very important. Now we have complete information regarding slope of a line. Is it clear? Therefore, now the next kind of graph is a straight line with different format. We are still under topic 4.31 linear graph. First you have done line of form y equals to mx. This topic is now over. Next is line of form y equals to mx plus c. This is the next topic. Now the previous topic took almost half hour because I had to teach you what is slope, how to compute, and what is importance of that. This graph will take almost 2 minutes to finish. Make a table, make a drawing, and find out the slope answer. X, this is y, x and y. Okay, look at here. Here I should put x0 first, right? What the answer will be? C. When I put y0, what it will be? Minus c upon m, right? So I have 2 points, I can compute this. Where it will be? First point is 0 comma c, which will be somewhere here, na? 0 comma c. Second one is minus c by m comma 0. So minus in the x will be somewhere here and it will be like this. This point is 0 minus c by m comma 0. You connect both the points and this is the graph of y equals to mx plus c. Do I know 2 points? I have information of 2 points, right? So I can calculate the slope and I can also calculate this angle tan theta. Do it. Slope equals to formula, concept, change in y by change in x. So you can start from here and you can go till this. This is 0 comma 0. Change in x give me initially how much is x? How much? Here how much is this? Initially I am here and then I went to this location. So you can choose which is initial, which is final, na? Initial, final. Initial x is how much? Minus c by m. My final x is 0. What about y? Initial y is 0 है ना initial here. And then you went to how much? Minus c it will be. And therefore the answer is exactly equal to m, na? And that is also equal to tan theta. So in the question, sometimes you will be given with this angle and the value of c and you will have to determine some quantity. I can solve that. It will exactly come out as m. Answer is positive or negative? Definitely it's positive here. Write down one line after noting all this down. Write down a line. Slope is fixed. Slope is fixed in all the parts of line. In all the parts of line. What's the meaning of this? If you find here also change in x, change in y, do the division, answer will exactly come out as m. Is it clear? But if I draw this kind of curve, then it is for going one step you are going this much only, na? But if you do the same here, you will go much more in the upper location, right? Is it clear? So the slope is not same here, but for a straight line, slope is always same. Next, line of form y minus y1 m x minus x1. So when do we write this equation? When you have availability of one point and value of m, which is also called as slope. So write down one line below that. This is the equation of line. This is the equation of line if one point is provided and the slope is given. The equation, the drawing is much easier for this because you are provided with one fixed given point x1 comma y1, right? So line has to definitely pass through this, right? And one information is given, that is slope. Using slope you can determine tan theta, and that will give you the value of angle, and you can just draw it using that. Or the traditional way that you can make a table, that is here x comma y. When x is x1, y will be how much? Definitely you can try putting here. If you put x1 here, this whole thing will become 0. This whole thing becomes 0, and y answer is how much? y1. When you put some different value, what should we put here? Let's put x as 0, or you can even put y as 0. Is it clear? So if you put x as 0, this is 0, and I am solving it here. Y minus y1 m minus this will be left, right. Y will go and it will become plus. So answer is y1 minus mx1. This will give you some value, na? This is also number, also a number, also a number. So you will get fixed answer. So this is what? This location it is giving, where x is 0 and y is y1 minus m x1, and this is the equation of line. You can even determine this point. This point is when y equals to 0. When you make y equal to 0, you will get the answer of this location and this theta. Now determine this value, tan theta or this. अभी देखो, what can you use? You can use this triangle, this one. If I make this particular triangle, this angle will also be a theta, right? Now you can compute, find out this as change in x, and this much is change in y. Find out how much it is and determine the slope. I am going from this point to x1 comma y1 as the final point. Okay, how much is the answer of slope? How much? Look at for the sign, proper sign. Okay, let us start. Final value of y is what? Final value is how much? How much? y1 minus initial value is how much? y1 minus mx1. So you carefully put the negative sign here, divided by final value of x1 minus initial value is 0 and compute this. कितना आएगा आंसर? Exactly equal to m. Okay, last type of line we have left. Okay, all of you calculate these. You can calculate delta x, delta y, change in x and change in y, right? Okay. Okay, here line of form y minus y1 is equals to y2 minus y1 x2 minus x1 multiplied by x minus x1. The only replacement you have done is the value of m, you have kept it here. Write down under this. This is the equation of line. This is the equation of line when information about both the points is given. When information about both the point is given. So look at here. What are we given with? We don't need to make any table here because you are already provided with 2 points. First one is x1 comma y1, second one is x2 comma y2. You directly join it and this is the equation of your line. And slope as well you can very easily find out, which is change in x and this is change in y. Change in y, change in x. This you can take initial, this you can take final. This location is x1, this location is x2. So this much is how much? इधर देखो, here to here is x2 and here to here is x1. So this change in x is how much? x2 minus x1. From here to here it is y2. From this to this is y1. Clear na? From these points I am drawing. So this location is how much? This much is y2 minus I1. Therefore, you can do this division. So, you will have the answer of slope as m as dy by dx, or change in y by change in x as y2 by y1 divided by x2 by x1. And the difference you can notice, if you place this value which is equal to m here, it will be just similar to our previous form, right? And definitely that is also equal to tan theta, and the angle theta is here, and the same angle theta is at this location also. See, after this much you should have clarity about lines, how to make the drawing, what is slope, significance, and how to compute them. Is it clear? This much should be clear to you. Then we will move to the questions. Some easier ones you will have to do it by yourself. Some difficult one we will do here. Write down question. Draw the graph of. Noted na? Noted this. Draw the graph of y equals to 2x plus 3, y equals to 2x minus 3, y equals to minus 2x minus 3, y equals to minus 2x plus 3. Next question. Write the equation of line if the line passes through minus 1 comma 2 with slope minus 3, Next question. Draw the graph and write the equation for the following. A line passes through 2, 3 and 8, 9. B 1, 1 and 0, 0. C you can write 0, minus 5 and minus 6 comma minus 7. Next, a body moves with a uniform velocity. Okay. A body moves with uniform velocity which of the following graph represents its motion correctly? Which of the which of the graphs represents the motion correctly? Graph A is this like this. Graph B you can make the rough diagram. Where x is position, v is velocity, and t is time. Question number next. A position time graph of a particle is shown. A position time graph of a particle is shown. Find its velocity. Okay, two more questions. The graph between charge capital Q, the graph between charge capital Q and potential V is shown. Determine the capacitance C. Determine the capacitance C. Determine the capacitance C. Okay, last question. In the graph given below, determine the equation between in the graph given below, determine the equation between capital I and V. Okay. You can leave, guys. After writing this down, you can leave.